that. We got to change up that tarps off photo in the intro.
If anybody wants to know how important Dakota Josh was to the Vancouver Canucks, that was the game. Okay, so condiments. This is everything.
Everything. So we run the gamut completely, right?
I'm talking about sriracha on the bottle.
Sriracha?
Sriracha. It's that silent R that screws me up.
Is it a silent R?
I don't know, like who's tall?
Who's tall?
Chris Brier, wasn't he tall?
Chris Brier was tall, yeah.
Welcome to the PP1 Podcast.
Are you kidding me? That's what?
What up? How's everybody doing? It's a pre-Canucks PP1 podcast. I couldn't keep my eyes open long enough to do a post-Canucks broadcast last night, which is very rare for me because usually I'm firing on all cylinders, as everybody knows.
Pre-game night, we don't do that very often.
We don't do too many of those. No, we really don't. But that's okay. Welcome to the PP1 Podcast on the Area 51 Sports Network. I am Ryan. If you haven't figured that out by now, then I'm really sorry. And as you know, my main man, based on our conversation over ramen last week, my cultured friend. Was it cultural? What word did we use?
I think that's it. Cultured friend.
Yeah, cultured friend, T3 Ted Wong. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing good, man. Happy to be here.
I feel like that could be a really fun conversation to have.
I mean, it usually is.
It's good. I mean, I think we're in a safe space here. As per usual, I'm going to get these banners up before we get any further. Obviously, follow our show on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. If you're coming by, say hello on the Area 51 Twitter, our YouTube and Facebook. Comment along. I'm sure Grant will be here. If you have any questions, that's cool too. We will answer those. We got a fun show this week. It is Brier week starting tomorrow in Kelowna. That's right.
I got a bone to pick with the Brier.
Okay, well, we'll get there. I'm going to be there with my family tomorrow night, and then we're going to go see, as my dad called them, 45-30, or as the rest of the world calls them, 54-40 after the first game. Bless his heart.
I love your dad.
The guy just kills me, like straight face too. Like he genuinely thought he's not in the know. So anytime there's like a song on at work, he's like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Nickelback." He's like, "It's not Nickelback." I'm like, "Well, then don't ask me. Obviously, I know that." So I work with my dad. So Brier week starts this week. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Be a weird story if not. Your dad just appears at work every time.
Yeah, just shows up.
Like, you look at you guys listening.
Yeah, how you doing, son? You gonna make this work out okay? Oh man, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Canucks, I guess, because that is usually what we talk about. Ovechkin, we're gonna chat about him. We might even get into what we talked about over ramen last week. Is it ramen or ramen? Sriracha or sriracha?
It's whatever you want it to be, man. I feel like there's no rules with Ryan Hank. That's like just one of your things.
I appreciate that.
I just think whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what I want you saying.
Okay. And then we got a good one. So everybody knows my zany ideas. We are going to explore the wide world of Chat GPT, and we are going to let Chat GPT AI decide what the Canucks should do for the rest of the season. I dabbled into this the other night, and it's interesting. It's interesting. So I had a few questions for it, and I think we've done this before with our all-star teams and our the epic battle between like Genghis Khan and
that was a good one.
We've done some pretty fun things. So I'm sure this will be no different. So first and foremost, let's get into the game last night. The Canucks actually won a game they almost lost against the LA Kings. Connor Garland, two beauties, the little drop pass from Quinn after they had a massive penalty kill in overtime.
Yeah,
which just felt inevitable they were going to lose that game. Is that kind of what you were thinking? Like,
no, I didn't feel like that.
Really?
I was like annoyed when you said the Canucks almost lost that game because I thought that they controlled that thing wire to wire, and even the goals that did happen were ones that you might have expected to in that place, right? It wasn't like they gave up a whole lot. I think they were pretty tight. I felt like even though they were being outshot, and LA is a good team. I felt like they had that lockdown and we're going to find a way to win, which is weird. I haven't felt that way for most of the season, so I'm probably the outlier on that one. But
so then I was the other way because that game was looking good and I didn't want to do the thinking of like, man, he's got a shutout going here. And then the first one goes in like, well, whatever. But the second one, when they didn't call it, they're looking for a goalie interference and there's because it looked potentially like a high stick. Wouldn't you want to like ask the referees to look at the high stick? Not that you want to challenge it, but like you guys really aren't going to look at. And then if it doesn't go your way, then you roll the dice with a goalie interference call. Don't you think?
I mean, yeah, like I don't know if you can ask, right? I mean, that's part of it.
But wouldn't you push for it? Like, wouldn't you try to
somebody
make it
should be saying, but they might not have like there's protocol involved. You can't just be like, well, he was fucking tricking me. I better go take a look at it. It's like you're take a look at it or you're not. And if it's not something you go out of your way to do.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
Again, I don't know the rule. That's what it feels like to me. And sure, somebody should have been saying something, but I mean, it was a close call, and I just don't know, high stick or not. I don't think it was. Maybe I'm the outlier on this again. That would be twice early in one show. I just don't.
For three.
So obvious that it was a high stick that it would have been overturned anyways.
Yeah, it was really, really close. Like, but I think a lot of those are anyway. So I don't know.
So
but
I was okay with it.
That game did feel like once it was 2-2 and then it got to overtime. I mean, I didn't think that they were out of it, but that PK or as soon as that penalty came up, I thought
that
this is how it usually like this is how overtime works. Like someone gets the power play in overtime. And I mean, LA was having a decent game to end, right? Like Kempe was looking good. Like LA looked pretty fierce to end the game. And that kill was incredible. And then to see them go up, Quinn Hughes basically puts the team on his back as per usual. But the one thing, we were talking about this today, the one thing I loved, and I probably watched the replay over and over and over, Quinn takes two guys into the corner. And he goes, and then you see the replay, and he looks down a little bit, which is kind of weird, to like a tell almost. And then he gets the drop pass to Garley. He goes and makes a shot short side. That he commanded two players to go with him in that moment, I thought was just so awesome because it really opened that opportunity up for Garland, and he made no mistake on it. And we're talking about a win instead of oh man, they got so close on that one.
It was a great goal. Like Garley was phenomenal this game. Like he just is proving to be a more important player, especially during wins. I mean, he had a couple tough 6 games there with not anything going on goal scoring wise, but he's just so good at controlling play somehow. I mean, you see the guy skate around out there. He's constantly in every physical battle. He's winning battles on the walls. He's throwing hits, like guys are leaning on him constantly. And I think that he's not an easy guy to just go handle out there, even though he's so limited weight wise. I don't know. I'm more and more impressed that he can do what he can do at his size. And I think so much of it has to do with this low center of gravity that he's found an absolute way to turn into a win for himself. But he just looks like easily like their most dangerous player, right? Like he's kind of the guy you want controlling the play down low. He's really driving the bus for this offensive portion of the team right now, and he looks really good, and he looked phenomenal in that game too. And then there was like lots of things obviously Petey was doing too that looked really good, and we're at that point where we're sort of just looking for him to make improvements.
Yeah,
but you kind of want to see him commanding the puck like Garland does when he's out there. I mean, really. Never thought I'd say that, but here we are in a conversation that says, man, if we could just have Petey playing a little bit more like Garland, we could have a lot.
Unbelievable. You know what I've really noticed about Garland in the last, couple months anyway? Do you just watch him when he's doing like his going up and then switching back and going the other way? Like, do you just watch like his hockey sense? He feels like he has like this elite hockey brain right now. Where, I mean, again, not necessarily coming out the puck all the time, but he's making so many smart decisions when he has the puck along the boards that he's maintaining possession, even in like an absolute danger zone where he just he might be like coming around the corner and then he like comes back, but then he'll like go in, figure out something in the skates, cut back one more time. Like it's almost like, like sometimes like a Quinn Hughes is rubbing off on him. Like just these little like brain moves that are just making time and space all of a sudden. Like he's probably created the most space on the team aside from Oh, I mean, Filipido's starting to get there, but I mean, there. Who else would you have in that kind of group of players that's actually creating time and space all by themselves? I mean,
Well,
Garland's got to be up there.
I think you made a good point, and like, I have no doubt in my mind that Quinn Hughes and Conan Garland are trading secrets on how to be a low center of gravity player and how to be elusive and how to evade, and if they aren't doing it, they're constantly watching each other perform these moves and work these ways, and there's no doubt in my mind that they're out there just sort of playing off each other in terms of like copying and stealing trade secrets, right? I mean, all that stuff you see when you practice with a guy that much, it's bound to wear off, and they have to be talking, right? And so you can really see it in Garland's game, and you're right, he just looks like he's feeling it. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, we're heading into a game tonight, and that's going to be exciting, but let's see if Garland can keep going and keep feeling it the way that he's been for the last little bit. And in terms of forwards, like, I mean, again, Höglander looks like he's coming on a little bit. I wouldn't say that he's out there driving the bus and is just a constantly dangerous looking player, but Höglander's coming on a little bit. Like, really like Dakota Joshua's game.
Yeah, he had a big game yesterday.
We talk about some of the nuanced things that Garland does, and I think from a defensive standpoint and from a getting in a way and hockey smart standpoint, I'm starting to see that from Dakota Joshua a little bit more. I'm excited for his game to sort of round out as we head towards a playoff push, right? But yeah, there's not a whole lot. They're as well as they're playing defensively right now, they're going to have to find a way to have some other guys step up, and I can appreciate that they're doing that. I mean, I guess somebody that might obviously be showing a little bit more is probably a guy like DeBrusk, who sort of stepped up from the goal scoring department. I mean, we know he's streaky. He's in one of those streaks right now where pucks are going in for him, and I think no one else is scoring right now, so this is the perfect time for him to be doing that.
Just embrace it. I wanted to get into. We'll move off of the forwards, but I want to get into the defense, PD. I'm using it as like plural and singular at the same time. Like EP, young PD as they call him, last night, again, kind of getting in a bit of a scrum yesterday. Just they talked about on the broadcast, like he just in there, he's like, what? Let's go. Like what do you want to do about it?
Yeah.
Like he's so confident for a young guy, and he's a difference maker, not quite, but he's definitely carrying his own bag, and he's self-sufficient. Same with Marcus Pettersson, just smart sticks, smart plays. They're throwing the body around, and now you've got realistically a defense which I think talked about this right as all those trades came up, right? Even a game or two after, but like their top four right now, if things are going well, is like Hughes and Hronek. They've got both PDs. And then now it looks like Juleson is done for the season. I mean, he's a seventh, but you've got Myers, and then you've got Susie. And it sounds like Myers is a game time decision. It sounds like he just got a stinger. Thank goodness, more than anything. But they said he is optional or potential to play tonight. I saw that earlier today. So like their defense all of a sudden just takes this turn, and now no one's really worried about it. And now we can go back to talking about, I mean, they could add one more big piece potentially on the back end, but now we can start, complaining about the forward group a bit and like trying to shore that up before this playoff push. And it's comfortable. Like it's a good feeling to have that much reliability on the back end as opposed to what we had probably to begin the season.
Yeah, lots to unpack there, right? I mean, I think we need to give like a shout out to DPD's game. He's just been so solid. I mean, I think this is a guy that they were like probably looking at saying, hey, we'd like you to have a cup of coffee so you know what to expect when you make your way into the National Hockey League.
Slams a jug of Folgers down. He's like, let's go.
And he looks like, nah, like I'm here, man.
I'll buy you the machine. Let's have some
I've
coffee.
Arrived, right? I mean, he looks, you kind of heard it in interviews and stuff that like he's really forced their hand to have him in the lineup because the lineup is better with him in it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't even call it learning on the fly. He's just looked so good. And I know there's always these comparisons to sort of like Canuck greats, and when you see a guy, it kind of reminds you of, he's never as good as the original in the comparison, but you can sort of see shades of his game. And I think that he just reminds me so much of Matthias Olin. He's just sort of steady out there. He looks calm when he has it. He's He's physically imposing. He's not as big, obviously, as Olin was, but this is a guy that just seems like he can take care of business and then handle himself from a defensive standpoint, and he doesn't really seem to make a lot of mistakes.
I was thinking like even Chris Tanev, even not the same, but kind of the same, like same.
That's same
like
demeanor.
Mentality, yeah.
Yeah, like it's nice, and I think that obviously his arrival with the arrival of other Pettersson, right, Marcus Pettersson, has really like calmed things down. I think what's sort of lost in all of this, and I dislike it. I understand obviously why it's a thing, but a version of Carson Soucy that has his game working is like a really good defenseman that you want playing for you, especially if it's bottom 2 minutes. Sorry. He could be so solid. It's unfortunate that he's become like a bit of a result of cap crunch and trade deadline and foreshadowing why that contract has to move. But if this team was firing on all cylinders and this D core had sort of sorted itself out early, I think that Soucy would have been a really good guy to stick around on this unit. I sort of somewhat selfishly hope that we get to see more of that. But this team's been really has benefited from the depth of the D core since Pettersson's arrival.
I was just peeked into like a segment from now, the Chat GPT thing, and I was kind of smiling for there's I got this glow going on right now. It's good. It's a good feeling. I think you're right. I think by the minutes dwindling and being able to give those guys opportunity to kind of, again, like when Myers was in your bottom pair, when you got Soucy in your bottom pair, like that's where those guys really thrive. Like as far as, when they know that, again, they're up there in age and their ability isn't what the other guys is, you can have them still effective. They just need to be put in the right position, right? I mean, you see it all the time. You get the guys that are put in the right position to succeed, and they have sheltered minutes where they can be more matchup or more based on situational things going on the ice. Like that's now you're talking tactics. You're not just talking desperation of we got to put someone healthy out.
It was we really felt that when Zadorov and Cole were in this lineup, right? And it sort of pushed everything down a little bit, whether it was Cole that was playing in the third pair or it was Zadorov that was there. Just having that end-to-end depth is so important, and it's not as good as that. It's not as good as it was when that was happening. And it's different than it was before, but they like have that opportunity still with some of the horses that they have on D to be sort of really good front to back and benefit from the placing of a guy like Myers or Soucy in the bottom two pairs.
Okay, so we're gonna move off of that kind of stuff. Let's get into some fun stuff. Actually, before we get into the Canucks talk, let's talk about
before we get into the Canucks talk.
Yeah, the next Canucks talk.
Oh, okay.
Alex Ovechkin is 12 goals away, unless he's playing. Are they playing tonight? I think so. So unless he scored since we started, which I don't see any updates of any kind, he's 12 goals away from beating Gretzky.
It's crazy, and I think that the only thing that I can compare this to,
and keep scrolling, keep talking.
It's the Barry Bonds chase. When Barry was going for the home run record, right? I mean, we were all watching. Anytime there was, you were cutting to the game when he was at bat, regardless of where you were. It could be on national television, right? So it's not that big, obviously, for what Ovechkin's doing, but in terms of the sport, it's really that important. So I'm really stoked to see what happens over the next little bit here. We're still a little ways out. But we're
not that far away.
We're going to get to that point where it's exciting, and during games we cut to so we can watch what's going on with Ovechkin, or at least it should be that way.
NHL on the fly, and I know Sportsnet said they're going to be carrying more games as it gets closer. Gretzky, I think, said he's going to be when he's 5 goals away, that he'll be going to all the games, which I think is pretty cool. It's good because then he won't have to be talking with some other guy in the States. So, it's awesome having seen Ovechkin play live, seeing him play live, seeing Brier played live, seeing Gretzky played live, Crosby. there's just some special players out there, and just to see what, like, if you still have an opportunity to go see this guy play wherever you happen to live, folks, he's fun. Like, I don't care if you live in Columbus, I don't care if you live in Calgary or whatever. Seeing Ovechkin play still is a ton of fun. What you don't see on camera is how the play starts and then how it becomes what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to watch. It's all the guts behind the play that make him exciting. And the great players, really, and he's right in there. And the fact that the guy's, what is he, 39?
He's still so good, though.
Bro is 39 years old, and he's still sniping like he was 19.
Is it just me, or is it the way that he's held up and just how durable he's been? Is it just me, or like would it be just an absolute shock for him to pull a Chris Chelios or a Yammer Yager and play into his 40s?
I think if his body would allow it, he could play till he's 45.
Because he's still so jacked about scoring.
He loves hockey for what it is.
Yeah.
And he's still very good at it. Like Tom, you look at, and this is different, but I mean, Tom Brady, when he was about to go out, was nominated for MVP when he won his Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That means you're still the best. If you're that old, if you're 44 years old and they're saying that you should be the most valuable player of the league and you win a championship, you're probably still pretty good at your craft. So if Ovi can do that, I thought his career was going to be done a long time ago. And not that I doubted him, it's just because he played such reckless minutes. Like, remember when he was really throwing his body around and like injuring guys?
He's
and,
a psychopath, like just throwing himself at guys. Like,
I thought it was going to be over quicker than it was. I thought, like, this can't continue. Like, nobody's body should be able to hold up that way. And he just kind of said, like, yeah, I'll just work out. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, it is incredible. And I think it would be cool to see him hit 1,000 goals. I think that would be the ultimate.
Wow.
Because, I mean, if he makes this, he's not that far behind. He's 2 seasons away.
No.
Which, well, maybe
2 seasons away from 1,000 goals.
Well, what's he at 8? Is he in the 9s already?
Sorry?
Isn't he in the 9s already for goals? Or no?
For goals? Look,
yeah.
Here. Let me just make sure on this. This is like 802.
Where are we here? Race to 895.
Oh, 895, sorry.
So 895 is what he's trying to achieve.
You think 1,000 goals in 2 seasons, so you're looking at another 50 plus a season?
Well, okay. So maybe it's 2.5 seasons. It's doable. If he can do this, maybe 3 seasons. You think he could hold up for 3 seasons and put up like 35 still?
Yeah.
Like,
I guess you're not wrong.
Wouldn't that be absolutely crazy? 1,000 goals to beat the one guy. That's one record. I mean, it was, I suppose, achievable. I mean, obviously it is. I mean, the points one isn't going to get touched just because the league, this league doesn't allow it. It isn't the same league anymore. The opportunity to score that many points just isn't possible. But goals, 1,000 goals, that would be incredible. I mean, we're excited when someone plays 1,000 games. And I mean, I think there's got to be 100 and something players that have done that. It's not that many. So to get a guy to score 1,000 goals, I think it would be incredible. And I mean, I don't even know if Connor McDavid would be able to achieve that. Although he's had some pretty significant injuries when he does get hurt. But anyway, you're looking to see if that's possible. What is
Draisaitl's pace right now in comparison to Ovechkin? I know he didn't. I know he didn't score as much in his initial season, or seasons. But he seems like the most dangerous goal scorer right now.
Yeah, if the puck's on his stick, he's scoring.
Austin Matthews.
He's only at 390. He's at 390, and he's 777 games. 390. I don't know. I mean, he'll get 1,000. He's closing in on 1,000 points next season, that's incredible. But he ain't scoring. He ain't scoring 800
also
goals.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I'm just I was just trying to think like who's like Stammer seems like he's sort of dried up. Gino is at 500. Like Patty Kane's going to top out at 485. Stammer would be the next most dangerous guy at 572. Like he's.
But there's no way he's going to get even remotely close.
He's getting up there now too, right? I mean,
he might not even hit like 650.
Kyle Connor.
No.
Panarin's going to be done. Like there's.
What's McDavid at?
I'm just looking at young guys right now. Like, McDavid at 357. That there's a young guy with a big goal total. McKinnon at 358. Like these guys, there's a lot of guys on here aren't gonna. Austin Matthews 389, Draisaitl 390.
I don't think so.
And you instantly start to get up to the older guys. I mean, that's why Draisaitl and Matthews sort of stand out. Pasternak's there too.
But even still, like it's just he was just doing it every year. Every single year he was putting up 30
and
plus
he just
goals.
was nonstop. Like just was so good, right?
I mean, is he in the easier conference? Maybe.
Well, I mean, over the course of a 20-year career, though, 19-year career. I mean, the conferences are going to change, right? Like he's already been through a couple of rebuilds.
That's true.
Right. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
1,
like
2.
And they have a shot. Like they could do some damage at this playoffs. Like who's to say that they couldn't go on a run this year?
Yeah, he's got 8 50-goal seasons. Like,
oh, that's it. 8.
He's got 30 and 42 right now. Like that's 17 assists. It's pretty funny.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, it's funny. The guy all he does is score goals. Like it's just an absolute bucket full of goals.
He's fun. He's fun to play as a video game character. Again, seeing him in real life, I saw him in his rookie year when he came to Vancouver for the first time. And it was almost the same feeling I had when I got to see Pavel Bure play for the first time.
Yeah. You know what's fun about his game too? He's 335 or like 3,353 hits. The guy, he doesn't fuck around. It's pretty great.
No. I think that's the one that people forget about. Like, oh yeah, and he hurts you
remember
too.
Remember his fight with Svechnikov?
Oh, it's been a while.
Just 99. Like, first off, what are you thinking, Svechnikov?
Yeah.
Are you insane? Just because this guy doesn't get into a bunch of tussles doesn't mean that he's not a 340-pound man.
Like, I mean, imagine like a Travis Hunter, for example. We'll talk about NFL for a second. Imagine having a wide receiver that just has like constant 1,500-yard seasons for like 20 years. Oh yeah. And we put him in as DB for half season every year. And he just goes and hits people.
I hope the Browns draft Hunter. Honestly, I need that to happen.
Yeah. Well, as we get closer, we'll chat about that. But I mean, for another sport like where there's physical violence, right? That's about as close as you're going to get a guy that's catching. And well, I guess he would have to have, touchdowns. It'd be like 20 a season, 1,500 yards. And then he also plays on the defensive side of the ball and just cranks dudes for half a season.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique. So,
what's pretty funny is Ovechkin at 6'3", 238 is like a pretty deep-sized NFL linebacker.
Maybe just let him play football. Let him play football for a year. See what happens. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably better on skates. Like I said, so we're going to talk about a little bit about curling. So the Brier starts tomorrow. Very excited. If you live in Canada, curling's a big deal here. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's I hope it's just absolutely popping 54-40 after. It's going to be a good time. But let's look at the Canucks and let's talk about curling. If you could build
one more local thing. Did you hear that the Penticton is getting a WHL franchise?
Yeah, didn't we talk about this like a couple weeks ago?
Right. It's done. $15 million in royalties plus a 6-figure sum to the Kelowna Rockets for proximity.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Are they going to keep them the V's though? I don't know.
I would. I think you have to.
I think so.
Right? I think you have to.
How much of this move was facilitated by, what's going on with the BCHL and?
Well, I think a ton. And I
Yeah.
think because they're reworking the rules with the CHL as well, with the NCAA and all that, I think they're reworking all that. So they're like, oh, well, if the BCHL is on its own, but we also have access to maybe get what we had before with the CHL adopting that NCAA thing, it probably makes sense for them to be involved. I mean, it's great for the league. Now, all of a sudden, the BC division's got some pretty fun teams involved, right? Like you've got a Kelowna Penticton series on a weekend. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be pretty great.
Once the Rockets get good
I
again.
mean, I don't know how many folks from Penticton. It's funny that they're charging them, right? I mean, for proximity, but like how many? I wonder how many folks from Penticton are making their way down on an evening to watch a Rockets game.
Dude, you know how many people come from Kamloops on a weeknight
to watch Rockets? The Rockets?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is there Rockets fans?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait,
If you see, so it goes both ways. Like usually, more so Kamloops, but most times, if it's a weeknight game, you'll usually see a bus of Kamloops fans. My dad tries to take the trip to Kamloops usually a few times a season to go catch a weeknight game. It's a good time. It's fun.
Wild behavior.
It is wild behavior. I agree. So the Brier, let's put together our ideal Canucks curling team. Do you think we can do it?
Yeah.
So remember, so curling. So we're gonna talk about like the stuff. So you got your lead, you got a second, third, and your skip. So you got to have precision. You got to have sweeping, decision making. You got to have a guy that has good, proper amount of weight. All those things, right? Has to be able to, bang around when it comes to takeouts. So, like, who are you thinking? Are we going to build our own, or are we going to build together?
No, I think I'm building my own, just like every time.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna share.
Yeah. Would you like to? Let's make a joint Facebook account. How about that? You know what? I'm going to give you first dibs because I'm
Quinn Hughes. Like obviously.
Quinn Hughes. And what is Quinn's?
Who's the final shot? Is that
the skip?
Okay, the skip. Quinn's the skip. He's the absolute quarterback. If the guy was in the NFL, he'd be running West Coast offenses on timing patterns and be winning all day. Okay. This guy is he is precision. Quinn Hughes. How could I pick anybody other than Quinn Hughes? First round, first overall. Yeah.
Okay.
Undefeated.
That's pretty impressive. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, I really want to pick him. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with Brock Besser.
Okay.
Brock Besser is gonna be my skip.
I can't believe how badly I'm gonna destroy you in this one.
No.
It's not even, oh man.
Are we gonna check this into Chat GPT?
Yes, we are. I think I'll be over 3 if this goes through.
Okay.
So I'm 3-0. My bad. 3-0.
3-0. Okay. So first of all, Ted, because I'm gonna forget this.
And you took Brock
Besser. Okay. So now we're gonna go with our third. So this is like
you have to explain to me why you're gonna take Besser though. That's such a random. Of all the guys that you could have taken, that's the one that I did not think you were gonna take.
So I think he makes good decisions. I think he's got, when it comes down, I think he's got a precision shot. If he's given time and space, he can pick his snipe. And I think, again, given time and space, time to think about it, I think he can make that happen. He doesn't have to sweep, so you don't have to get him to play 200 feet. If you just ask him to shoot, he can do that.
Oh, I like that. That last one there, that was good.
I know. See, I also had some time to think about this. I would have gone Hughes otherwise. Okay. Yeah. So who is your third? So this guy's like your alternate skip.
So you think about this before you're asking the questions. You've already got an idea of what guys you're going to select in their order.
So I didn't put a lot of thought. I just thought like what I'm going to have to think about. That's all.
Okay.
To be fair, you know me. I probably just don't have enough thought into this or time in the day. So this is your third. So he's like your alternate skip. He will skip on the skips shots, if that makes sense. And then he's sweeping otherwise.
Okay. I'm going to take Henrik Sedin, franchise all-time assist leader.
No, this team, you doof.
What?
You can't pick all-time.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just going Canucks here.
It's just like the Canucks.
Well, you got to be more clear because in the past I was allowed to take whatever I wanted. One time I took Michael J. Fox.
Those are different circumstances.
Okay, so the
I'm
number
going to
two.
take a Tyrannus Rex. Okay, that's
Uh,
great. Henrik Sedin, not eligible. Okay.
okay. Henrik Sedin not eligible.
Yeah, you could have him as a coach, I guess.
I I'm gonna take Pedersen. I think
Okay.
yeah, he's not. He doesn't have to be the guy. All the skill in the world. You just have to. I mean, you're at the Brier. You're trying to play your way to the final,
Hmm.
and you got a huge ceiling from possibly one of the best players on this roster if things are going right. And you got to hope by the time you get to the big game that he somehow turns it around in the final, and then the damage that you can do with a guy like Pedersen has to be
Okay.
on that roster by Barrett alone.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go because this guy's been making some great decisions this year. Oops, I got to spell my name right. I'm going to go with a guy that can sweep like nobody's business. He's good in the corners. He's going to be just gritty. Also, when he needs to, he's going to probably make some pretty decent shots. I'm going with Corolla himself, Connor Garland.
Attaboy, good pick.
I think so, yeah. So there you go. So he's my alternate. I think he's up to the task. Now, he's probably not going to be able to see over like the rocks because he's pretty short, but we're not gonna judge him on that. Okay. Who is your second? So this guy is going to be shooting and sweeping. So he's going to be your henchman basically. Middle of the road, but his shots are a little more important because it's usually the first couple of shots that start to factor into points.
The first set of shots that starts to factor into points.
Realistically, yeah, because sometimes your first couple are just thrown out and hoping you get something in the house, right?
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go with DeBrusk.
Louis DeBrusk.
Yeah, yeah.
Just kidding.
Team's goal leader this year. I think he's the guy that gets in there and he does a lot of the dirty work, sort of in close. It's not like he's ripping guys up. It seems like he can play, like a nice physical game. He's very industrious. I feel like the way he works.
Ooh,
I think
love the use of industrious.
Yeah, that sounds like the type of player that this slot probably would need.
I like the work of industrious.
I mean, I literally have no idea what I'm talking about, but this is
you just threw it industrious. You've used that before in a sentence, so that's good. My second is going to be Filip Hronek.
Okay.
Again, I like that he's got a booming shot. I like that he's going to be able to score you some points. He's going to be able to sweep. He covers the ice well. He knows what his job is, and he goes and he applies task. Plain and simple, he's a gamer. I like Filip Hronek as my second. And this is now your lead. So this is your first guy. So he gets his first two shots. He's the guy that opens the game for you. He's going to be he sets the tone. Who's your final player?
Sets the tone.
I know who you're going with on this.
Yeah, I mean, if really that's the big role, and it is that he's out there setting the tone, then I'm going to go Kiefer Sherwood on this one.
I figured you would.
I mean, it has to be, right? Like, you're looking for something, you got to get into this game. You got a guy that he's got some good hands. He's very, very physical, NHL hit leader.
Yep.
You try to mix it up right from the jump, right? I feel like he could lay a good block or two, right? Put up a good guard or two. As well as he's sort of just being so annoying. I mean, yeah, I think he's going to be my guy. Yeah,
I like that. That's a good pick. I would have picked him if you didn't. So that's a great choice. I'm going to go with a new guy. I'm going to go with the guy that's already made an impact. That's already been shooting. He's quick. He's made good decisions so far. He's made a difference, and I think he can make a difference early on our team, Team Blue. Your Team Red. And I just decided that. And I'm going with Filip Chytil.
Oh, okay.
Not Cheadle. We're an honest team. We're not going to cheat. He's Filip Chytil.
Don Cheadle.
I'm Don Cheadle. Speaking of which, we were just talking about Don Cheadle today. He was in Out of Sight with George Clooney. Good movie.
Oh, okay.
He was also in Ocean's 11. Another good movie.
Yeah, great movie. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean. So we're good here.
Did you watch this movie that just came out with the two of them? Where they both play hitmen?
No.
Oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Interesting.
Wolves. It's called Wolves.
Okay, no, I haven't. Okay,
Yeah,
so
they're both. Oh, they're not hitmen. Sorry, I misspoke. They're cleanup men.
interesting.
They make the
Oh,
bathroom
okay, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Wolves, it's called.
Wolves.
Okay,
And it's
so
it's just classic Pitt and Clooney. It's good stuff.
in a curling match between these these NHL players who I can't believe I really hope that I win. Who would win?
How are you asking? You're just asking it.
Just simple.
You're building two teams.
So in a curling match between these NHL players, who would win? So Team A, go through your team.
Team A and Team B. Gotcha. I thought you just put all the names in there and
No, I'm not. So we got Team A is comprised. See, I can use big words too. Of Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, Kiefer. Oh wait, who is your third guy? DeBrusk.
Yeah, Louis. Yeah,
Jake DeBrusk.
Louis. No, remember you said Louis.
Yeah, I just said Louis.
I don't actually want Louis DeBrusk, so I prefer.
I'm aware. And Kiefer Sherwood. Team B is comprised of Connor. I said Connor Garland is my lead, right? Or am I skip? Connor Garland.
No, Brock Besser.
Oh, right. Get out of here. Brock Besser. Connor Garland. You think I'd be able to remember? Oh, right. Philip Hronik.
Yeah.
Philip Hronik. And is
Don't
Philip with it? Don't you? I hate you so much. In order they were written, are skip, third, second, and lead. Here we go. This is an interesting matchup. Since NHL players aren't professional curlers, it would likely come down to their overall athleticism. I hate that. Let's break it down. Skip, Quinn Hughes, elite vision, precision as a defenseman, which would translate well to reading the ice and making accurate final shots.
Sounds very familiar.
I feel like we've been here. Highly skilled with great hands and a calm demeanor, good for setting up shots and handling pressure. Debatable. Jake DeBrusk, gritty and hardworking, likely strong for sweeping duties. Great choice on that one. Great choice. Lead, Kiefer Sherwood, a high-energy player which could help with sweeping and early shot execution. Perfect. I love it. Team B, Brock Besser. Pure sniper with great touch, but not necessarily known for his finesse passing, could impact shot placement. So there you go. Connor Garland, tenacious and skilled, good under pressure and creative, which could be useful for strategy. Philip Hronik, I feel like I already know where this is going. A smooth skating, hard shooting defenseman, likely a solid sweeper and consistent shot maker. Maybe I should put him as third. And Philip Hedl, a big bodied forward with good skill, likely a strong sweeper. Team A has an advantage in vision, finesse, and precision with Hughes and Pettersson leading the way. This sucks so bad. Leading the way. Their ability
might be the biggest win yet.
It's like, why did you type this? Team B, while competitive and strong, might rely too much on power rather than finesse. Winner, Team A, in a close match. Would love to hear your take. Who do you think has the edge? I don't even want to get into it. Well, you won.
3-0. 3-0 in the Chat GPT team building exercise.
That was fun.
You should do the same thing, but you should replace Philip Hedl with Don Cheadle.
Okay, let's do that.
And then you should replace Jake DeBrusk with Louis DeBrusk.
Okay, replace. Okay, so replace.
I'm so excited for this, actually.
Replace Cheadle with Don Cheadle. Oh man. Okay. Just wait.
I don't have no idea why I'm laughing so
I
hard.
don't know. This is so stupid. With Don Cheadle and Jake DeBrusque.
With Louis DeBrusque.
Louis DeBrusque. Does the result change? Oh my gosh. Now this just got way more interesting. Of course it did. Louis DeBrusque, former NHL enforcer, now broadcaster, likely strong at sweeping, but question mark on finesse. This is good. So it updates it. So Quinn Hughes, elite vision and precision. Pedersen, high skill, clutch factor. Kiefer Sherwood, energy and work ethic. And it recaps mine. Best are sniper, but can he curl? Garland, scrappy and competitive. Hronik, solid all-around athlete. Don Cheadle, wild card, but actor, golfer, athlete, could surprise us with hidden curling talent. Does this change the outcome? Louis DeBrusque versus Jake DeBrusque. Louis is physically stronger, which might help in sweeping, but he's older and doesn't have the same agility as Jake. Might be a downgrade in overall shot precision. Don Cheadle versus Philip Heel, the biggest question mark. Cheadle is a known sports fan and golfer, so he might have that finesse touch. But curling experience, who knows? If he picks it up quickly, Team B could actually improve. So here we go. This actually evens things out more if Don Cheadle turns out to be a natural. I love how they're just like if you're right
if he turns out that he's good, then they're gonna win.
Yeah, if you're right on this could be epic. Team B could pull off
if we're right in assuming that you're just gonna come in as a fucking legend curler,
a ringer. Team B could pull off the upset. However, Team A still has a superior top end skill with Hughes and Pedersen. Team A wins, but it's even closer if Cheadle is a curling prodigy. Team B takes. What do you think? Does Cheadle carry, or does he need some practice? Okay, that might be one of our...
save that though for next time, and then like add more to it and be like, Cheadle is allowed to spend as much time learning to curl as he does preparing for a role while acting, or something like that.
Okay, so there's rumor that there's another Ocean's movie coming out, and it's about them. It's about them being too old to do a heist.
We're at that part in our lives now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it sounds like Julia Roberts is going to be in it. Sounds like most of the original cast, or they're trying anyway. So I think that could be awesome. So we will keep this going. I mean, we'll do it next week because the Brier will be close to ending next week.
Now, so this build thing makes me laugh so hard.
Oh man,
so the Brier, I have parking outside my building that we pay for in a lot, and the Brier, because it's going to be full from that lot, I potentially lose my paid parking spot.
What?
Yeah, because there's just other paid parkings in the lot that we're in, and when there's that few spots, it's first come first serve.
Oh wow. Okay. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I want to be able to park in my parking spot. We'll see how she goes.
That's I kind of feel bad for you. So I mean, I don't really, because I understand how that works. Just side note here, folks. Ryan is just checking on his Domino's password because his wife is asking. So bear with me here. I can take a little picture for her.
It's happening live right now.
This is life. This
live
is
and
life.
In color.
Yeah. What's the pizza password? She says. I'm not going to tell you guys, but I'm going to send it to her. That was a lot of fun. I wanted to get more into. I mean, we got a couple set. Well, the game starts pretty quick. Should we finish on that? Are we? I think we could end on a high note with that.
Probably. That was just an absolute climax right there. What else could there be?
Well, I was going to get into like what the Canucks could do at the trade deadline, but we still got a bit of time. So next Friday's trade deadline. I think we'll have an episode before that. So
you should go watch next Friday.
What?
It's been a while. Next Friday.
Go watch what?
Next Friday.
Oh, the movie.
Oh? You got there.
S'mores? S'more what? You know, s'mores.
Yeah.
It's s'mores. S'more what?
If I haven't had any to begin with.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in I don't even know.
Just watched it like last month. My girls freaking watch that movie all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great actually. Chrissy's like, I never really realized until we watched this movie this year. Because it was on and she was watching it. She's like, I never really realized until I just watched this movie, which I haven't seen since I was a kid. that like 90% of the weird shit that you say comes from this movie.
Most movies, yeah. There's
Forever. The s'more thing, yeah.
the s'more thing, big gulps. Well, see you later.
Yeah,
That's a good one. I got that one. Go with my brother-in-law. I'm like, all right, big gulps. Well,
Big
see you
gulps.
later. It's classic. That's good. So the Canucks, they got the Ducks tonight. Hopefully they win 2 games in a row. That'd be fun. Could you imagine back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights?
Well, they need it. So there's that.
I think they could do it. They could do it. So I just want to throw out that Chat GPT, I threw out a question to them of like who the Canucks could potentially go after. And this will probably change by next week. So I'm going to throw it out there. It was suggesting Colton Parayko and Timo Meier were 2 options.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that.
This isn't from us. This is coming from Chat GPT.
This is from sentient beings. So who knows?
I mean, it would be great if Colton Parayko could end up on our team.
They're saying that it would take moving a few pieces and likely a first round draft pick. But I think if you had the opportunity to get a guy like him, maybe you move on. You got to make a trade to get the first rounder first, but then
a couple of assets, so like a player off your roster, Lekaramäki in first.
Actually, Lekaramäki came up in the Chat GPT thing, so
yeah,
there you go. I mean, he did score today, so there's something, but interesting. So, we will. I'm going to send Ted the rundown of our curling teams, and we will absolutely keep this going for next week because I do want to know how ridiculous this can. I need to know how does my team win at some point.
Well, you were going to have to just pick the next thing for next week.
Yeah.
Because we did one where they. Oh yeah, it was like all the random personalities play.
On a hockey game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun. That one was pretty fun.
I mean, when we got sevens are coming up pretty quick here, so we could build a rugby sevens team.
Yeah, I don't know any names though.
No.
Just countries?
No, we'd have players.
Oh, rugby. I see.
Yeah, we could build a rugby sevens team. So
that would be fun.
You pick Brock Besser first overall again.
Yeah, get killed. I'm just gonna get meatheads on there and hope for the best. Yeah. One guy that can run and everyone else just kills people.
So we'll build a rugby sevens team.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Okay,
well, that's not till March. Oh yeah, next week is March. Okay, fair enough. Checks out. That's fun. This has been a lot of fun, Ted. We're already man. Things just go quickly on the show. I love it. No Grant this time. I understand. Whatever. He's got better things to do, I'm sure. Bragging about better concert he saw last weekend. Whatever. I don't care. Screw you, Grant.
Where did you go to?
Our Lady Peace. They were in Abbotsford.
And it was just better there?
Apparently. Chantel was there. Rain's wife. It's a good time. Anyway.
Canadian anthem.
Pardon me? You weren't. Well, it wasn't about the. It was.
I know what it was. That was fine. The word changing was fine.
Yeah.
I just didn't think her anthem was that great.
Yeah, and I think she was going for more of. Anyway, I get what you're coming from.
Got you.
On behalf of my cultural friend,
cultured friend.
Cultured friend. Sorry, I apologize.
Cultural.
Cultured.
That's all.
Yeah, man of dignitary, man of wiseness, man of skill. Ted, I am Ryan. This is the PP1 Podcast on the Area 51 Sports Network. As I say always, go Canucks, go, and peace out.